Hi Stampers, welcome back to my Hooray for Surprises tutorial. So this week I'm sharing 3 cards with you, and the Hooray for Surprises stamp set also has die set that comes with it. So it's got a coordinating bundle, and these items can be found in the new mini catalog that just came out. So it's really a fun little catalog. These are on page 13 right here. So if you're interested, that's where you would find it. I also have links on my blog for all that information. But what's nice about this stamp set, why you're really going to love it, is, of course, it has great images like little hearts and flowers and cakes and great sentiments. But what's also fun about this is it has these little dies that cut images so you can create an interactive card, and it makes a pull tab. So when the recipient pulls that tab off, it has a whole nother greeting, a surprise greeting underneath. So it's just really a fun card, something different. Another item that we're going to be using today is something out of the Sale-A-Bration catalog. So for those of you who do not know, Sale-A-Bration is going on now through the end of February. And what Sale-A-Bration is whenever you make a purchase of $50 or more, increments of $50, you get to look through this catalog and pick an item for free. So they have designer series paper, and they have embellishments, and they have lots of stamp sets and lots of paper and just lots of good stuff. And we're going to use some of the paper that I got during Sale-A-Bration. And this is called Stippled Roses. So it's 12 by 12 sheets of paper. There's also a die set or a stamp set that coordinates with this paper. But of course, you can use this paper for anything. Like I said, I'm using it for today's card. And we're going to use this piece right here, which is really a pretty floral design in Pool Party. But let me just go through some of this. It's very, very pretty. It's got a lot of the Calypso coral. It's got some muted images. Just a lot of pretty roses there. This would be great on a card for a guy. This is very pretty. Another Calypso, Pool Party. This is kind of black and white, or maybe even early espresso and white. Really pretty. And then it's got the Calypso coral. And again, that's the paper we're using today. That's the back side of the paper. And then this design here, very cool, very different. And then that pretty little image. So that is the free paper in the Sale-A-Bration catalog that's called Softly Stippled. So for today's card, actually, let's talk about the 2 cards we already made. So we made this card on day 1, and it has that little pull tab right there. And when the recipient pulls that tab off, underneath, that's what we stamped on designer series paper, so that's what they'll see. So it's still a very pretty card, but it's fun because they get to pull that pull tab off. And then inside we stamped a birthday sentiment and the cake. So the cake's here, but it disappears when they pull it off, but we stamped another one inside. And then we made this pretty heart card. I like this card because of the sentiments. It says, "For you." Underneath we stamped, "You are the best." And then inside it says, "Sending lots of love." So it covers all your bases for a very generic card. You also could stamp, "Hope your birthday is wonderful." And that's what it would look like when they tear off that pull tab. So let's get on to today's card. So I'm going to use Pool Party as my card base, and it's 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. I have a white inside stamping piece, 5 1/4 by 4. I have a scrap of white, a scrap of Granny Apple Green. I'm going to bring a little bit of black in here for some nice contrast. That's 5 1/4 by 4. Then I have a white piece that's 5 by 3 3/4. Then I have our piece of designer series paper, and this is 5 by 1 3/4. And I do want to mention that all of the sizes, the dimensions, the supplies I used, shopping links, everything is back on my blog under the words project sheet. So my blog is stampandshop.blogspot.com, or scroll down below this video and you'll see the words project sheet, and you click on it, it'll take you to my blog, and you can find all of the information there. I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Okay, so this piece here, this is our designer series paper. This is a piece that we're going to cut the pull tab out of. So I also cut a little template. This is just copy paper, just real thin paper. but it's the exact same size. So we can go ahead and do that now since we're talking about it. So let me bring in these dies. So again, these dies have the pull tabs, they have flowers, sprigs, leaves, hearts, cakes, circles, a lot of dies. So okay, this is the exact same size, and we're going to cut through both pieces, and that's just going to give me an idea of where I'm going to stamp a little bit later when we get to that point. So I'm going to lay that die down and go ahead and cut through both of these pieces. Okay, so that's what I did. I cut that out. So I'm going to carefully take it off of the designer series paper. And I have that little piece of copy paper behind, and that's what I'm calling my template. So I'm just separating the two. Now on the template, I'm going to tear this piece away, just a little break it away. So if, for example, the recipient would go and pull it apart, I'm going to break it away gently because it is copy paper. It's kind of thin. Okay, but I'm going to use this a little bit later for my template for stamping. So we'll see how that works in a little bit. Okay, I'm going to bring in this piece here. This is my stamping piece. We're going to do a little bit of stamping. And I'm going to bring in the leaf or the flower image and pool party. And I'm going to stamp 3 of the big flowers. I'm also going to bring in my piercing mat. And I'm going to lay the paper on there and stamp right on there to give me more of a cushion, because this is a polymer stamp. And it just helps you get better coverage, a nice stamped image that way. So we're going to ink this up with pool party, and we're going to stamp 3 flowers. Okay, now I'm going to bring in Memento black ink, and I'm going to bring in the little stamp, the little flower stamp, and I'm going to stamp 3 flowers. So I'm going to bring in the flower die, and I'm going to go ahead and cut the big flower out. And you just kind of have to lay it down, and it does go a certain way, so you have to play with it, kind of turn it around until you find the correct way. And it lines up perfectly just like that. And the same thing with this little one, this little die. You just have to play with it and turn it until it lines up perfectly, and you can tell when you're looking at it up close. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut all of this out, and I'm going to bring in my granny apple green piece, and I'm going to cut out 4 sprigs in the granny apple green, and I will be right back. Okay, so I have my flowers, or 3 flowers, the large ones in pool party, and my sprigs. I cut out 4 of the little sprigs in granny apple green. And then I cut out 3 of the little tiny flowers in black. Okay, so now we're going to kind of do a little bit more stamping. I'm actually going to put these back in here. I just wanted you to see everything I was cutting. I also made a little bow out of the black and white gingham, because we're going to put that on our card. I do want to mention, if you're new to my channel and if you're enjoying my cards and videos, make sure to click the subscribe button. I'm here weekdays at noon. What I do is I pick out one Stampin' Up! Product, and then I showcase it all week. I show you different ways you can use it, exactly how to use it. I give you tips and techniques. So make sure you do click that subscribe button. I'd appreciate that. Okay, so here's our front pieces. We have our black piece, our white piece, and we have our designer series paper. But before I glue all that together, I'm going to bring this template in. And I'm going to bring in our stamping piece, our white stamping piece that goes on the front. And I'm going to line the template up right there on the bottom. That's where our designer series paper is going to go eventually. I'm going to line that up. And I'm going to stamp in Memento black ink. And the sentiment is from the stamp set, and it says, "You are simply amazing." It's a line sentiment, so let me show you that up close, right there. But you can go through your stamps and look for some other line sentiments. This is pretty long pull tab area, so I'm sure you could find a lot of different sentiments that you can put in there for your surprise greeting. And I'm just going to center that. I'm actually going to center it in the circles. I'm going to leave that tab off to the side, and I'm going to center it. I think I'm going to center it in the circles. I'm thinking about this. So I didn't make this ahead of time. I'm making it with you. So I'm kind of contemplating if I want to put it right in the center, or if I want to put it off to the side. I'm going to put it right in the center of the whole pull tab. We'll see how that works. And I might change my mind as I'm stamping. Okay, so I just did it right in the center of that whole pull tab. Okay, so now I can get rid of this template, and I can bring in the designer series paper, and I can glue it to our front card piece. Actually, before I glue this white piece down, I'm going to bring in the gingham ribbon, and I am going to cut a piece and attach it to this white piece. And I'm going to attach it right over that line, just like that. And some people use glue dots to attach it. I'm going to use tape, so I'm just taking that white piece and I'm just going to put a piece of tape and adhere that. Okay, just like that. Now I'm going to glue everything together. I'm going to do one more thing before I continue. There is a stamp that says open here, and I am going to stamp that right on that tab in Memento black ink. So I'm going to do that before I go any further, and hopefully I get a nice stamped image. Right there. Perfect. Yay. I told you I was making this with you guys. I didn't make it ahead of time. So, okay, so now I'm going to glue this to the front of the card. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in all those stamped images and the cutouts and attach them. So I'm just going to glue the sprigs down, and again I have 4 of them. And you know my little trick, when I have something delicate like this and I put glue on there, I like to kind of dab it on my silicone mat and get that extra glue off. So the middle ones I just overlap because the middle isn't going to show, because we're going to put our flowers on next. So I'm going to bring in some dimensionals and pop up our 3 big flowers. Just like that. And I'm going to bring in a glue dot and attach our bow. I'm going to put our bow right in the middle there. I'm going to put a glue dot underneath this ribbon to hold it down, and then I'm going to put a glue dot on top of the ribbon to hold the bow. So that just kind of holds that ribbon in place. So there's the front of the card, and again it has that pull tab. And let me see, somewhere I thought I had a sample. Well, I will look around and find that. Right now, let's finish the inside. So for the inside, we're going to do a little more stamping. I'm going to stamp in the Memento black ink. Also, if you're new to Stampin' Up, or new to stamping for that matter, and you don't have a Stampin' Up demonstrator or a coach, as I like to call myself, I'm here for you. I'd love to chat with you and assist you with all your stamping needs. So I just love Stampin' Up products. They're really exceptional. And if you buy from me, if you sign up with me, you will get excellent customer service. So I just wanted to make sure, if you're new to stamping, go ahead and email me so we can chat a little bit. And I'd love to help you out with all your stamping needs. So in here, we're going to stamp "Sending You Lots of Love." We'll do that in the Memento black ink. Nice. And I think I'm going to stamp a flower inside there too. So I'm going to do that in Pool Party. Just bring in a little scrap here. And we'll put a little flower down here in the corner. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Okay, so that's the front of our card, and I did find the little strip. So basically, when they pull that strip off, they're going to see a space of white, and it's going to say, "You are simply amazing." I stamped a couple of hearts on here, but I think I'm going to leave it, this one plain. Or I already glued it together. I have to leave it plain. But isn't that pretty? I just love it. It really turned out nice. And then inside, we have another flower. Let me show you a card that I made where I did not use any of the pull tab elements. So here I just used the two hearts. I stamped, or I cut out a white heart and then a bubble bath heart with the dots. Then I put some ribbon behind it. And I used that same paper that we used on our card that we made yesterday, this one here. So again, these are my ideas for the Hello or the Hooray for Surprises stamp set. And I also want to mention that I offer host code gifts. So whenever you purchase something from me for $40 or more and you use my host code, I will send you a gift. I have some embellishments listed here. That's also on my blog. You can find that information. And when you add the host code, I will send you one of these embellishments for free. You just have to email me and tell me which one you'd like, and I will send that out to you. Also, if you love my cards and videos, don't keep it a secret. Share my link and name with your friends. Your support helps me grow my channel, which I really, really appreciate it. And I will be back next week. I have a couple of little videos that I might be able to pop on this weekend, little short videos. So make sure you're subscribed so you'll be notified to watch those. And go to my blog, get the project sheets, leave comments, ask any questions, and I'll see you next week at noon Eastern Standard Time. Don't be shy. Stamp and shout. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Our little other flowers that we stamped, we have to add those to our card. Then our card will be done. So we stamped those little tiny flowers in black, and I just thought it was pretty to offset the other black that's in the card. So we're going to add these with glue dots. Just like that. Oh my gosh, that's so much better.